book is a great book to have in your library.
Like just in your reference.
For
Yeah.
health and healing. It really is. So I took the
paperback where to leave it for my kids.
The author.
Oh, finally! Serve it up.
Oh, I got the bottle over there waiting for me. I got a whole nother bottle. Come on, that's still the same bottle I had.
Girl, I got my last cup in my thing. Shit, I ain't got no other bottle.
That's still the same one when we were together a long time ago.
You said what?
When I left your house a long time ago, that's that wine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll be trying to hold on to it.
Wow.
Do y'all know I ain't had no drink last night? I'm so motherfucking mad. I'm so fucking mad.
No, you're ridiculous. So
I woke up sober as hell. I said, damn.
Ridiculous.
Who wakes up mad because they sober? Who wakes up mad because they're sober?
Me. I was sober last night. I ain't do nothing last night.
Oh my God.
I had no drink.
Nothing. I took my daughter gymnastics. I ran the track, did my weights. Yeah, I ain't. Hey.
That's Kiki. This is our newest member.
Hey. Nice to meet you all.
What you sipping?
Girl, what am I sipping?
Girl, I love something. Okay. Some cheers.
Yes.
I'm so excited. You know, I've been reading y'all books. I just haven't been coming to the things. I always have an excuse. And I'm so happy now I'm here with everyone.
Yes, Margaret. Damn, girl. Shit.
I know. Girl, shut up.
I feel the same.
Every damn month she got an excuse. Girl, I can't. Girl, I can't. Girl, I'm busy. Girl,
and I'm here finally.
Yes, girl. It took a while, but you made it. That's all that matters.
Sound like me. Oh my God.
Okay. No, I don't. It's not like I don't want to come. It's like, for real, I realize excuses. You know what I'm saying? No, like.
Yeah, you be busy. I feel you. Kiki, she's our newest member. She actually we went to the Chicana tour together. So that was
why y'all want to go Chicana tour? I feel like this. Can I say what I want to say?
Yeah,
I feel like Chicana could never teach me anything that I don't know in this world. I'm sorry. I'm not paying her $100 to tell me something that I know as common sense. I'm sorry. I'm not putting money in her pockets. Fuck that. And that's how I feel.
But
and these are the facts of life. I could be right, I could be wrong. Y'all could beat me up about that, but no. That hoe could tell me shit. She's a thousandaire. I don't want to learn shit from a thousandaire. I want to be a millionaire. I'm just saying. That's why I did not pay for that. That's why I didn't go for that. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. If you only watch,
I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm still a good person. I love y'all.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But if
that's
you
how
watch,
I feel.
if you watch Chicana, just
I don't want to. I'm not investing in you at all.
You only want to talk to people that's millionaires.
Yeah, not thousandaires. I could be a thousandaire on my own.
I didn't even know who she was or anything.
Exactly. She's nobody, bro. She's nobody. Family, she's not nothing.
Okay. So
that we were gonna pay for. Hell no. You could take your $100 and got you some groceries like we all did.
Man. Well, I'm glad whoever the ones that went.
But y'all went supporting her. No, for real.
Oh yeah, I love her.
I know. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
Let me tell you, Margaret, what happened.
I love y'all to death.
If you
wasn't gonna do it.
If you only watch Chicana from TV and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and all that, then
But Chicana's hurt though.
I can understand your view of her if you've only watched her from television, but I got another side of her watching her live every day during the pandemic.
You don't feel like you're trying to make money? I feel like that.
No.
Okay.
She really touched me during the pandemic. Like she really motivated me and stuff and kept me going. Like her lives is so lit, like for real. Like she is so damn real, like so down to earth, like all these
I love
other
you, but you don't have to spend no money
celebrities.
to be around real people. We
A
are
lot of
real
these-
people.
A lot of these
You're
other
around
celebrities-
us. We're real.
But I mean, like when the celebrities are on live, they basically just look at the camera and just look at the feed, who's commenting. But one thing about Shekinah, she bring real live people on there and they tell their story. They have testimonies. They tell all, I mean, it's like once you start talking to her, you just open up about a lot of things. And she prays, she has her pastor on there. You know what I mean? Like,
know,
she's
I
very
understand,
spiritual.
but at the same
No,
time,
I'm just telling you,
she
like,
got to
this
hear
is-
herself.
Right.
Like,
And I'm
don't
just saying,
make money off my expense. Don't make money off my emotions. And that's what I feel like what she's doing.
yeah. But yeah,
I will say,
she's a cool.
You know
like,
what I'm saying? Like, we feel the exact same way, but I'm not telling you to, I'm not charging you or you for how I feel. Like, no, I'm not.
I didn't know
Because
nothing.
we all talk, we can all communicate, we can all, you know,
I didn't
love
know
one another without
but I
any
think
expense.
she's a good person. I think she's a good person.
Hey,
I didn't
I'm
know
for
much
it.
about her
Hell
before
no.
that. And I just wanted to see from what I was seeing. I'm like, okay, this seems like a good, experience. After experiencing it, I don't think I would have paid that much had I known.
Exactly. These are the facts of life. We all can talk about this shit
Yeah,
together.
I feel like,
As people,
it
as
could've been a
individuals, we
$20
all
thing,
got the
but-
same results exactly for free. Just
Yeah.
being honest, open, and
I
yeah,
think
that's
that
why I
would be-
said
I feel like
that's why I
she
didn't
had
pay for
something
that.
going, but it didn't have to be as much as it was because it wasn't
No, it was stupid
worth that
ridiculous.
much money. Yeah.
Facts.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Hey Diane, how are you? Hey Diane.
Hi, everybody.
hi.
Hey, Diane. Hi. Hey, where your cup at? Where your cup?
My cup. Oh, we were supposed to be sipping.
Yes, we sipping, girl.
Girl, you already know.
I didn't know that.
She's not a drinker, guys.
Oh,
No,
Tanisha,
that's
Not like
fine. Let her get water. That's fine.
Yeah, that's all.
Girl, I'm a drinker. I'm sorry.
Diane,
no
Diane,
judgment
I don't
here.
know. I don't know if you met Kiki. She's
But
on your
Diane,
number.
yeah, you're fine.
Oh, okay. I like your energy. Hi, Kiki.
Oh, thank you.
Hi,
Simi.
Nice to meet all of you.
Yeah, so we had a wonderful time last night, though. Yeah.
I know
Kiki,
you was looking good in that cat suit. Y'all had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
yeah, I
It
said, you know,
looked lit as fuck. Y'all was lit.
Oh my
Y'all was
God,
lit.
girl. It was so lit.
I had my kids, so I was with my
jealous.
kids, so I couldn't be out and about. So
Yeah. That's
everybody
okay. I'll
always
be there.
everybody tries to be out. So I have my kids. I take my kids seriously. Why not,
mhm.
ladies? Let's like do a topic.
What kind of
How
topic?
y'all feel about men? Like,
Men.
are y'all like
What?
your husbands, or y'all got a boo y'all thinking about, or what's going on?
Are we doing a topic just to have a discussion? Because we're gonna have a
Yeah, we
discussion.
have a discussion. Yeah.
But we're talking about the book, though, Margaret.
Oh, all right. I'll talk about the book.
Do you have the book? Do you have the book?
All
No,
right,
you don't have the book. You missed that part.
Oh, you don't have it? You didn't get the book?
I told you I had a book.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I
Remember-
guess you have to listen. Yeah, go on Amazon and order. It's called African Holistic Health. You see it?
So we're really gonna talk about the book. We can't talk about something in real life.
This is real life. This is health.
Okay.
This is- yeah.
All right. I'm gonna listen to you guys. I'm gonna chill.
Okay. Yeah. Go get the book though, so that you can, be more informed about, what we're talking about.
Really good book.
In the book, yeah. It's very
A lot of
informative.
information. I would say
Yes,
that.
a lot. I think you'll definitely like it and, find it very resourceful.
Okay.
All right, so Tawana, we can go ahead and get started. Everybody try to mute your phones. Mute your things so that, we won't be having too much talking and background noises while she's explaining what's going on. So Tawana, the floor is yours.
Hey, ladies. Glad to be here today. The book that Tynesha decided because it was Women's Health Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she thought it would be a good idea. But this, unlike any other book, so African Holistic Health is not your standard just read. You know, it's not that pick up and read it from cover to cover kind of book. It's more like a resource guide and a reference guide for healthy alternative information. And I had the pleasure of meeting, not only meeting the author, Llaila Afrika, who is now an ancestor. He has made his transition actually like the first month that we were in the pandemic. And I had the pleasure of taking his class for the holistic wellness practitioner back in like 2006 or 7 or something like that. So it was quite a long time ago. And I took this course with the intent of not becoming a wellness practitioner myself per se, but more so just to get the information so that I could, help my family, help friends, my clients, because I'm also a natural hairstylist. And I guess
Yeah, natural hairstylist, inbox me.
yeah.
I need to do my hair like next week. Do silk presses. No, for real. No,
Tynesha,
I'm
why
not
don't,
joking.
you know what we need? Why not? No, that was really good, Margaret, because what we need, and Margaret, I want to say this.
Yeah, like this shit is fake. Can you please like do my real hair?
what I want, she is hilarious.
What I know, stress y'all out. That's all comes to these meetings.
What I want to say is she made a good point. I think that we should have some sort of like a little database or whatever, because you get
like this is like a safe haven.
The book club has really grown in that we have so many different people with so many different professions and stuff like that, and we have a great network of professionals within our group, and we should all know what the other does, so that for even if we can't use the service, we can recommend this, as to someone else. You know what I'm saying? So
these are facts of life. That's what I would love to do, for real.
We should probably do something like that in our, I don't know how we could do it. We could talk about, what kind of platform it should be on. I know we got an Instagram and a Facebook page. So maybe somewhere in there we can just, put our info in up under members or something. I don't know. But anyway, I was just
right. How'd you like the book?
The book?
Yeah, the book that we read this month. I didn't like it. That's why I didn't read it.
So but that's what I'm saying. It's not that kind of book. It wasn't the kind of book.
Right. It's just something like you want to, yeah.
That's what I was telling Tynesha. It's not like,
it's not a book that, right, like we all want to, right, you're right. Because I didn't like it.
No, it's not about whether you like it or not. It's whether it's useful, because it's not that type of book, is what I'm saying. It's not like a fiction book. It's not a biography. It's not, it wasn't any of that. It was more so because this is a great resource for everyone to have in their library for things because not everybody's comfortable with Western medicine, right? Because we know Western medicine, as good as it can be, it can also fuck us up, right? And especially us as Black people and Black women in particular, because they still have the mentality that Black women.
I think like we didn't have that like conversation. Like anyone why else as Black women, why are we always at the top of why are we at bottom of totem pole? Why are we, like I think we didn't have that conversation.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
for sure.
I was saying that because with Western medicine, we're the most neglected group.
Yes, we are.
And
we are. And it's like, why, bro? And we're the most youthful. We're most youthful, knowledgeable, honest, shit, beauty, shit. Look at us. Like we're stallions. Like we're man, I'm not the best looking girl in the world right now, but what I was,
And
You know what I'm
and
saying?
so with that being said, that's why this book is important to have, because us being the caregivers for not only ourselves but our entire families, most of us, if you're on the line right now, you have children, you know what I'm talking about. If you have a significant other, you know what I'm talking about. We're always responsible for caring for and nurturing and healing the people around us. So this book, a lot of times, in my opinion, a lot of times can help you with that, especially if you are to the point where you don't want to go reach for a bottle off the shelf at CVS, or get a prescription from your doctor and stuff like that. Because so much
So
of
what? So it made you like
so
just
much
be
of the
you.
Western
Like
medicine,
shit, what made you embrace you and be like, shit, I don't need none of that shit.
so
And
much,
your husband actually embraces you as well.
so much of the Western medicine, we have that has been created, has so many side effects that are more detrimental than the actual problem that you're taking that medicine from. You see it all the time, on when they're putting commercials on TV with these different medications, and then the side effects are leaky heart, this, that, all of these different things. That, damn, I just had a sinus infection. I don't want my liver to go bad. I don't want my kidneys to fail, So this, to me, was a great alternative for anyone who's looking for more holistic a more holistic way of practicing medicine, or healing ourselves. Can you all hear this noise in the background, or am I okay? Because I'm outside and my neighbors are
No,
just
I hear you. Okay.
okay. All right, cool. So
So
yeah, so the book entitled African Holistic Health came from African centered perspective. So Dr. Llaila Afrika was a naturopathic practitioner that the foundation of his healing um, regimens came from what grew from the ground. Because in ancient times, our customs as people of African descent, we knew herbs, we knew the things that could heal without the detrimental side effects that synthetic drugs and stuff do. And the first line of defense, however, is the foods that you eat, whatever you're taking in to your body. And
Sure.
and having so the big move towards veganism and vegetarianism is huge right now. So I've been mostly vegan. I practice a vegetarian diet, but I've been mostly vegan for probably the last 12 to 14 years. I do occasionally fall off the wagon for a nice flaky piece of salmon. And when I hang out with my girlfriends, fried shrimp a couple times a year. But outside of that, it's mostly veggies, fruits, nuts, grains, seeds, and the occasional junk food. Who could pass up some chips and cookies?
No, ladies.
So for those that did embark on reading, that's why I just kind of highlighted the little parts that was the Roman
Man.
in the book, because it really kind of broke down the premise of the actual book and what it was about. So
Ladies, how y'all feel?
huh?
Margaret,
How y'all feel? Left hand, how y'all feel?
we
The
good,
left
sis.
hand. What's going
Margaret,
on?
Margaret.
Yeah, I can't.
Can you mute your phone, sweetie, for me, please, so we can not only hear her background.
Oh, I'm not ain't nothing in my background, but I'll mute it.
Thank you, sweetie. Go ahead, Swana.
Yeah. So the first the reason why I determined that the part of the book to read would be, like, I think it was page 29 in the Roman numerals up to page I think it's 40 or 50 or something like that. But this kind of really tells you about the premise of the book itself, and how Dr. Afrika got into the whole holistic idea of practicing medicine and what that looked like, because not many people realize that, in ancient times, we were the world's first doctors and healers and stuff like that. And a lot of what we do now is really totally against what our ancestors did, how they lived, how they ate, and it's working in reverse of us being able to heal and stuff like that. So I want to first, I guess, go to in the book, let's see, page. I'm sorry. Yep. Smart. Okay, right here, and the overlooked revolution, when they talked about how we march and we revolt and we sing and we cry about revolution and stuff like that, and the Black nationalist movements, and the having cultural identity and self-identity and stuff like that. And he makes it a point to say, how can we fight for all of those things when we have when we are being enslaved by white supremacist ideals of our nutrition, our food, the way we eat, the way we think about ourselves, and all of that, which is very, very true, because you have to understand that during the time when our ancestors were doing all these wonderful things, creating these vast civilizations, and they were eating from the earth, right? Because the soil and the ground was so nutrient dense that we could just drop seeds wherever, and within weeks the land would cultivate and grow these beautiful fruits and vegetables, and that we could eat these things. Now, at the same time, our Caucasian predecessors were not it, they did not have those same types of living in of environments and arrangements, because it was very, very cold. So they had to hunt and kill their food, hence eating raw meats and stuff like that. So over time, generations, a lot of people don't buy into this, but if you think about it, they still eat the same way they ate then. When they go to restaurants, they have meat that rare, that's cooked rare. That they don't typically eat a whole lot of fruits and vegetables. It's more so it's about the meat and potatoes, right? And we have adopted that same diet, and it has not worked for us. It has not worked for us at all. And it's causing more diabetes and heart issues, and then we're not even going to talk about the kinds of emotional things that happen to us when we eat like that, because there is a study that has a connection to food and violence and stuff like that. So there we have adopted a culture's diet that is totally against what we have, what we know to be what we should be doing based on our traditional original diet and lifestyle. And I'll leave it right there for just now, because I definitely want this to be a dialogue. So I want us to engage and talk about what you felt when you read those things in that first couple of pages, because I'm sure if you did grasp it, it was probably somewhat of an eye opener and something to think about. Anybody have any input? Everybody's muted.
Well, I'll start off. Actually, you had told me about this book years ago, but I just wanted to get more, detailed information about certain things in the book. We all know someone who has had some type of illness in our families, our friends, any of those type of external people. So my thing is, my question was with Dr. Afrika, when he was talking about melanin, can you explain melanin in your sense to us so that people may know at least about melanin? Because he really talked about that. That was like his core, aspect of the beginning of the overview of the book. So can you just explain that to us so that we'll have it, a little more clarification about that?
Okay, sure. So, without going too scientific, whatever. So if you think about, I'll break it down kind of like how Professor Kamene did. If you think about plants, right? Plants and the process of photosynthesis, right? That plants get from a combination of the sun and the earth, and what it produces in plants is like chlorophyll, right? And that's the plant's, if you would, the plant's blood or the DNA, the cellular makeup of what makes the plant a plant. So melanin is a molecule that the entire universe has, right? When I talk about the entire universe, I mean, you can find melanin in all aspects of things that are living. However, the people that are the most melanated people on the planet are people of African descent, which are the original people on the planet. And melanin can be found, it's that they call it the black gene. And it's more than just the black gene, but it's also the gene that we get where we get our color from. But more than that, what makes us see things the way we see them, what connects us to the the nature, like the plants, the animals, believe it or not, the whole entire solar system. And so melanin is a molecule that when you sleep, your melanin is being restored. And when you awaken, because you've heard of serotonin, right? So when you awaken, that's when your serotonin levels are raising when the sun comes up. So when you're asleep and when you're at rest, that's when your melanin has the opportunity to restore itself. So the darker the hue of a person, the more melanin that is present. And melanin is also a key molecule in helping you maintain your health and wellness. And so you want to continue to feed your melanin with things that are going to be nutrient dense and is going to help you restore, because that's part of our makeup. In other words, does that make sense without getting too
Yes.
specific?
Yeah, it makes sense. I just wanted you to kind of break it down so that we, all on the same page and know a little more, because it's a little bit easier when someone we know explains it to us, so
yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, so so that's why it's important to get out in the sun too, because the sun provides the vitamin D, right? The vitamin D is the one thing that helps to replenish and nourish the melanin in your body. Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions or anything to share about the book from what they read so far? Anything you didn't understand? Anything you need clarification on?
So I wanna, but while they're getting those questions together, I wanna kind of talk about a little bit about this whole mystery system. I don't know if you all got to that whole part of the mystery systems in the book, and you see that where it's got the caduceus.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the medical symbol, right?
Mhm.
So you see this everywhere, like in pharmacies and stuff like that. It's the symbol for like the doctors and the medical practices. Well,
Okay.
oh, thank you, love. You didn't have to do that. I'm sorry, I was talking to my neighbor. This is actually an ancient African symbol that's connected to our medical practices as well, because the spine right here in this thing that represents like the human spine, and this at the top, that's supposed to be like, the brain or your mind, right? And the way that the snakes or the uraeus wrap around this is two of them, and those two represent almost kind of like your yin and yang, for lack of a better term. I can't remember exactly the term for those two in African centered um, education when it comes down to the medical part of it. But so we're going to say the right brain and the left brain, the hemispheres, right? Like I said, I can't remember exactly what they're called. But if you see, there's 7 points where they connect on this spine. That is in direct reference to your chakra system.
Okay.
So everybody familiar with chakras?
No, explain that to. I don't think they know about.
Chakras are your energy centers. You have lots of them, but there's 7 main energy centers in our bodies that connect with thoughts, feelings, emotions, attributes of your health. So it starts at like the root chakra, which is down at the bottom, at the base, like where you sit, that area, that's where your root chakra is located. So that has everything to do with your primal instincts and your fight or flight and stuff like that. And then you go up, then it's the sacral chakra, and it's right at like um, where your sex organs are. And then you go up, and then it's the sacral chakra. Then it's
You say it's 7 symbols? Is that that's what it's called? 7 principles or symbols?
no, seven. It's the 7 chakras. We're not talking about my eye. That's what you're talking about, my eye.
Oh, okay, 7 chakras. Okay.
Yeah, chakras. Yeah. So they go all the way up to the throat chakra, the heart chakra. They go the heart chakra, the throat chakra, um, your third eye chakra, which is right here in the center of your head, and then your crown chakra. And all of those have different aspects related to, like, like I say, your internal systems, your personality, your moods, your feelings, all of that. It's all connected. So these are the different energy centers. And so when when in ancient African health and healing, they talk a lot about in the book, how Western medicine kind of breaks everything up, right? You go to a psychiatrist for your mind. You go to this person for your your internal healing. You go to this person for your eyes. So in African healing, in the traditional African healing systems, they used all of these things were in a combination together. So you could have a reading, or you could do a reading on your chakras and find out that if you have low vibrational energy around your heart, in that heart area, that has everything to do with, it could be relationship issues. It can be, it's more than just you having a heart attack because you ate something wrong. It's the whole person. You have to treat the whole entire person. It's not just one particular thing. So I like that how he brought that out in this book and talking about how, we have to look at ourselves as a whole, mind, body, and spirit in order to a whole healing aspect.
Mhm.
Somebody fell out.
I think it was Margaret.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, so you were saying about the healing, you need mind, body, and spirit. It's not just like you said, going to the hospital, getting checked. It all goes together. It all works as
right,
one.
right, exactly. So, and when you talk about things that ail you, disease, dis-ease, and also the food thing was a big thing that really helped me understand your emotional connections to food and what it is you crave and why you crave those things. So on that page, on page what is this, 36, the 10, the XXVI. Okay,
Mhm.
talking about the snack food groups and mentioning that no other animals on the planet eat snacks. They eat meals. Period.
Mhm.
And how we've become, a world of snackers. But the emotional addictive factors to food was so enlightening for me.
Mhm.
I had a thing for like sugar, and I noticed it made perfect sense to me. When I eat more sugar, rich, creamy, decadent kinds of things, when I'm feeling a particular way about, my relationship or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So when I read that years ago and we talked about it in class, well, in the type where it says, like, if you crave things that are bread, lots of breads and stuff, that means that you're relieving feelings of insecurity and you're soothing dissatisfaction. If you eat sugary things, it helps to satisfy the need to give or receive more love.
Mhm.
If you crave crunchy, it's to help release anxiety and social pressure. Isn't that something? So when you
Yes.
think about the things that you crave, think about your mindset and what it is that you're feeling at the time when you want it. You say, oh, I gotta have some chips right now. I gotta have, you know, you have to stop and think about why do I crave that? What is really going on internally that's making me want this salty or this crunchy or this, chocolate or chewy, kind
Yeah.
of things that you crave. Uh, so that's what I mean when I say about treating the whole person and understanding what's going on emotionally as well as physically when it
I'm
when
glad you
like,
said that too. If I could just interrupt for a second.
yeah, come
I
on.
did not read the book,
Uh,
but I'm just here to gain information because I
uh-huh.
figure you probably would be able to enlighten, on some things when it comes to, health and stuff like that. So I didn't read the book, but I know that I do crave chips a lot.
Mhm.
That's like at night. Sometimes I'll be up at 1 or 2 in the morning. I'm like, I want some chips. And I go in my kitchen and I grab a handful and I'm sitting on the side of my bed just crunching on chips.
Mhm.
Sometimes at 1, 2 in the morning.
Mhm.
Um,
So
so when you say
would you say that at that time, now that you know that, based on that, it's because you're worried about something or something is on your mind or you're feeling
yes,
so anxious?
yes,
Yeah.
that part is
Yeah.
because I'm busy and I got a lot going on, and so my anxiety goes up to 100. And so when you said that, I was like, well, well that makes sense
Mm.
because that's why I'm always craving chips.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you for that because
Yeah.
I do. I love chips. And I'm a person that's full of anxiety sometimes because I have a lot going on. I have a lot on my mind. It's all good stuff, but sometimes good stuff could be too much. You have to to weigh you down. And you have to make decisions of what is really good and what it looks good, but it really ain't good for you at the moment or period.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And I'm glad you said that too, because being anxious doesn't necessarily have to be involved with negative emotions that
Right.
are connected to it. It's just, so the difference between anxiety and depression is worrying about things that you can't change, and and stuff that has happened already. And anxiety are things that you are concerned or overly fretful about that has not occurred yet. So exactly, you can have a lot of anxiety about your wedding coming up. That's not a negative thing. You're just, you just concerned and you all over the place because you want things to go right. And this is, so anxiety is anxiety, but it's fear or worrying about something that is to come, that can happen, that possibly will happen in the future. So I'm glad you did say that. And yeah, that was very, very enlightening, very enlightening for me. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm on the porch, so all my neighbors waving and stuff. um yeah, so that was very insightful for me to know that your emotions have a direct connection to your food, as do your organs. Now check this out, because we didn't get to that part in this book, but I just remember that in class when we were talking about certain organs having certain things, when you have issues about, just say someone that has a heart attack, or they have constant, plagued with heart problems, or kidney failure and stuff like that, it's connected to emotions as well. So one of the things I learned was that kidneys, when you find people that have issues with kidneys, it's because they hold and harbor a lot of fear. Because what happens when, and it made perfect sense, what happens when you are so scared, like if somebody is, just say you get involved, you get caught up in a damn near shootout or something, right? What most people that are really, really afraid, what happens to them? What bodily function happens when they're really, really afraid?
Your heart, your heart starts beating fast, you get heart palpitation.
Uh-huh. But also what else? I'm talking about something physical that happens that everybody can see. Most of the time, a lot of people pee on themselves, right?
Yeah. People
Yeah.
shake, people tremble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they pee on themselves. So fear is connected to your kidneys. Yeah. And you're right, in the heart attack thing, in the heart, and when you have heart palpitations and stuff like that too, that can occur when you have a disagreement with somebody that's really connected, that you're really close to. Like, it could be your spouse, or your mother, or your father, or your children, your best friend. You have these heart palpitations because that's what that organ is connected to, because of your care and concern and love for them. So it really makes a huge difference when um, what it is that's going on with you when it's going on, right? Yeah. So I just, like I said, I know this isn't a book for everybody, and it's not a book that you just sit up and read when you ain't got nothing else to do, but it's definitely a very, very awesome resource to have in your library when things happen and you just want a different explanation than what you get. It's kind of like a second opinion kind of thing. You go to the doctor and they say, oh, I want to put you on this medication for this, and this. And you say, I don't know if it's that serious yet. Let me go home and just pull your book out and find a reference to, whatever it is that they're talking about that you need, and see what kinds of alternatives that you can do, what kind of foods, because food is your first line of defense. What you put in your body, your nutrition is your first line of defense. Let food be your medicine is an ancient, is a, what's the Hippocrates or something picked that up, right? But that wasn't Hippocrates' term at all. That concept came from African people, that food is your first line of medicine. And if you go to the book and then you see, oh, I'll give you an example. My cousin, who was going through menopause some years ago, and she had tried all of these different things, and we were talking, and she was saying that her hot flashes was just horrible. She was having such a hard time with them. And so, I just get to the book and I looked it up, and I was like, you want to try something that's open, that's, that you can buy from a health food store, that you don't need a prescription for it, it's not going to cause any side effects, blah, blah, blah. She was like, yes, give it to me, whatever. So I said, okay, well, the book says black cohosh, and it was one other thing, I think it was ashwagandha. I said, you should try it. I said, you can get the little tincture, the little herbs, and drop it in like your juice every day, or you can get the tablets, depending on what you do. I don't like swallowing tablets. I'm not a pill girl, so I'd rather drink the shit. So, and I said, just give it some time. It's not going to work overnight. Give it whatever you do that's holistic. You should try to give it at least 30 days, right? Do it consistently for 30 days and just see how you feel. And look, the shit worked, and the girl done recommended it to everybody that she know. And she's a nurse. Yes, she was a nurse. And she was like, Tawana, thank you so much. She said, I had never heard that. My doctor ain't never said nothing about it. I was like, of course, because most of the time, doctors don't get a whole lot of, they don't get any information or knowledge on their, unless they do it on their own, about things that are alternative and holistic in nature. They get about 10 minutes worth of nutrition in their whole practice. I have a cousin who is a physician as well. As a matter of fact, she's my physician. I just had surgery a few months ago. I don't know if Tanisha told y'all, but I couldn't take it no more. I went on and had a hysterectomy because I was bleeding like crazy. It was all over the place. And I used the holistic practices that I had for years that held it at bay, but it just got to the point where I was like, you know what, enough is enough. I'm sick of looking pregnant at 50. Okay. Because it was bigger than I wanted to be, from my uterus being inflamed and stuff like that. However, I'm just so happy that she was the kind of doctor that said, okay, well, if you want to do the holistic thing, keep doing it. It's not hurting you at all. You are keeping them from growing. They're shrinking, but they're shrinking really slow if you can wait the time. But when you get ready to do it, go ahead and do it. And the thing that I can appreciate about her was that she listened to me and let me do what I wanted to do based on what I felt was best for my health and wellness. And when it came down to it, at the end, she said, well, I have to commend you. You did really good for the years that you did. And not a lot of people would have even been able to go as long as you have the issues, and stuff like that, until it just got to be to the point where I just, like I said, I was ready to let it go. But she told me, she said, a lot of what I got from you, what I learned holistic, came from you. She had her own practice, and she incorporated yoni steaming in her practice for her patients that did not want to do a hysterectomy. Because she found that based on the information that I gave her, and I was talking to her about it, about steaming and then certain herbs and stuff to take, and how it would eventually help to shrink, the tumors and stuff from the inside. And she started incorporating that, and it served her well. It gave a lot of her patients a lot of relief and stuff like that. So yeah, this is very it's information that I think that we need to have as women, as sisters, and in our culture, because we need alternatives, because not everybody is able to not everybody has health insurance, for one, that allows them to go to the doctor and get all of these prescription medications and see all of these specialists and all that kind of stuff. So if there is something that you can suggest for a person who is in that situation where it can help to relieve them or put them on the path of healing and opening up their understanding to other things outside of, and I'm not totally against Western medicine at all. I just don't think it's the end all to the be all.
Right. There's always another way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just want to ask them, did you all find anything that you all can relate to in this book, as the little bit you guys read for the overview? Did you find anything that you can personally relate to?
Personally, I don't know if I would say I related to it as much, but I will say what I found interesting, a lot of information about research. When it comes to, you know, just the research and things that is given to us from, you know, like they were saying, like a lot of things is like tempered with, or a lot of information that comes from, you know, from us is not shared to everyone, or, you know, there's a lot of information that, you know, just is not true, or, you know, just is altered based on what Caucasians want us to know, or things that, you know, just, you know, not true. So a lot of stuff that we have to do a lot of research about. I think that was very interesting, and it was like I think I told you, seduced to ignorance, or seduced. I can't remember. But
Yeah.
that was very interesting to me, and that stood out a lot to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, seduced by ignorance and research.
Yeah. That.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And because it's so sad when I hear people say, you know, even about like reading and researching, like, oh, you know, that's white people stuff and this and that. That's not true. You know, we were were some of the most intelligent, and you know, we gave the world science.
Mhm.
We gave the world
Right.
science, we gave the world health, we gave the world medicine, we gave the world, when I say we gave the world, I mean people of African descent, because we were the first people on the planet, and we took the time to know flora and fauna, herbs, and all of those things, and learned how to heal ourselves and each other based on the information that we recorded. And so that caduceus, that symbol that I showed you with the snake, you know, wrapping around the thing that I said was the medical symbol, that's an ancient African symbol. They just revised it and made it look a little bit more modern. But that is the same symbol that we used and recognized as someone who was a healer.
We can hear the next door neighbor
Oh
now.
yeah, I'm sorry. I can go inside if y'all want me to.
Yeah, if he keep going then, but we don't
Okay.
hear now. But anybody else? Anybody else? Lysandra? Anybody?
No, I didn't read the book. I was trying to find some info out on YouTube to see what I could find on it. But as far as like the cravings and stuff, I don't necessarily have cravings, but for sweets, thank you. But the food for, I don't know what the reference was now, she just made me lose my train of thought. But you know how you use food for, you know, you eat food when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're bored or whatever, stuff like that. So I've definitely experienced that part of it.
Yeah,
And
comfort food. Yeah.
I was trying to hear what she was saying about the kidneys or whatever, what your body does or whatever, because I'm seeing I actually just made an appointment to see a kidney specialist, which my appointment is coming up here soon, because they said it's something happening with him, and I don't necessarily know why, because he said that they're filtering good, but it's something else. So I had to see a nephrologist about my kidneys. So it's interesting. And I did just come on too to hear what I could learn from those of you that had read the book and the information that y'all are providing.
Okay. I just want to ask you, do you drink a lot of water?
Actually, within the more recently, probably within the last year, I have increased my water intake. But before that, some days I could go without. I can go a day or two, at least a day without drinking water. Because I'm drinking other things, and I'm feeling like as long as I'm getting, like I have my coffee in the morning, I might drink some orange juice or something like that. I'm not a pop kind of girl, but Yeah, I have increased my water intake.
Okay. Because I know definitely water, OMG, like is your best friend. Although we don't like it like that because it is like so boring, you know. And the reason I'm just saying it is because during the pandemic, I had stopped drinking water. First of all, I'm gonna just say I'm never a water drinker. Okay. I never saw the necessity of it. I didn't think it was important like that. And then over the years, it's like all of a sudden people keep talking about some water, water, water. You know, I didn't know nothing about no damn dehydration, all that shit. You know, I mean, I just didn't think water was essential, is what I'm saying. Okay, so during the pandemic, I stopped drinking water, like totally. And I had some problems with I had to go to the doctor and stuff, and something came up on my screening, and she was just like, drink more water. So in the last few years, I have tried to drink more water. Like, it's so important, like very important. Like, if you don't even eat no damn food, okay, ladies,
Drink water.
if you don't even eat no motherfucking food, you need some goddamn water.
I try to do at least four bottles, bottles a day now.
Yes, and the way they talk. Well, I learned that what you do is whatever your weight is, that's how many ounces you need. It's in half.
Half.
So like, say I'm 130, so you would just say 130 divided by
65 ounces of water.
Right. Yeah. 130 divided by 2, that's 65 ounces I would need daily. So that's just a quick calculation of how much you need. I don't think it'll never be enough no matter what you drink, because there is a thing of overdoing the water. You know, it can that's harmful too. But if you do half your weight, that'll get your ounces, and then that should be okay. But yeah, water is very essential. Like, that's the only thing that quench your thirst. So I just said that to you, Sandra, because I know, you know, water, kidney kind of coexist together. And every time I go, you know, I'm just like, I need water. I wake up like, oh God, I need some water. I got to start my day with some water, you know. And it's like, that's the new thing now, you know. So I don't really go for pop and juice every blue moon. That's like a treat. So I just want to just, you know, add that to you in case, you know, I don't know if you was having it or not. Diane, do you have anything?
Water too helps make a huge difference.
Lemon water?
Yeah, lemon water. You want your water to be alkalized as much as possible, you know, because as the more alkaline your body is, the healthier you are. Disease can only live in an alkaline, in an acidic body. Yes, in an acidic body. So when you think about
chicken number is going to be 35.
On the pH scale, anything above 7 is considered alkaline, right?
Oh, I have I'm sorry. I do things like I add lemon. I might add cucumber to water because I think that's really refreshing. I add strawberries and pineapples.
Yeah,
you know, to give it some natural flavor, and that really helps me to get it down as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. And here's another thing too. So you want to drink it as close to room temperature as possible because your body absorbs it, your cells absorb it a lot better instead of cold water. But see, and I got issues with that myself. I struggle with it because I like every damn thing cold. If it's frozen, everything, okay? I put ice in my cereal and my
damn.
I am not lying to you. I put my little almond milk in the bowl with some ice, girl, and whenever I have cereal, and then I put the cereal. I don't know. It's just a thing for me. So yeah, I realized though that
what makes it.
Huh?
I think I'm drinking it room temperature because I drink my room temperature because I heard that a long time ago that that's the best way to drink it. But I also think for me, that's what make it harder to drink. So sometimes I do
water.
eat it with some ice because
a good cold glass of ice water can be so good going down.
Oh God, so
But
refreshing.
95% of the time,
your
I'm drinking at
system.
room temperature, and I keep bottles on my nightstand next to my bed. So if I'm waking up in the middle of the night, or I can wake up in the morning and I can drink water. But I do think the room temperature makes it a little bit harder for me to drink it or want to.
Yeah, I feel you, sis. I feel you. Who wants some hot water? Like I said, you might as well have some damn tea in, right? So, but
Okay.
tea,
Can y'all hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
But I was
Hear
saying,
me?
yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. So I was saying that you may as well have some tea. I'm sorry.
Lasan,
Yeah.
I'm muted.
Huh?
did you just say something?
No.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Go ahead, Twan.
No, I was saying whenever I go back on mute, it's because the clippers are the hedges are going back off again. But yeah, but the tea is an awesome alternative to water as well because of the herbal content with the water. So that's a good way of getting your water intake too, and really watery fruits and vegetables too. They're good to especially raw. Like I'm a huge melon girl. Melon, watermelon, cantaloupe, all of that stuff. That is a great source of water. Also coconut water. If you all are familiar with or have had coconut water, that's a really good source of intake for your water as well. It also gives a lot of potassium, which is really good too.
So I use coconut water to make my smoothies, but I've never just drank the coconut water.
Oh, yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. I do the same thing. I use the coconut water in my smoothies as well. But coconut water, just drinking it straight, it's really delicious. Only if you're drinking it straight from the coconut. The coconut water from the carton, it's just not the same. But if you go to the islands, like if you've ever been to Jamaica or the Bahamas and stuff like that, they'll chop the young coconuts right off the tree and pop them open and let you drink them right from the coconut itself.
I'll definitely try that. I'm going to Jamaica in August.
Oh, wonderful. So have you ever been there before?
No, the last time I had a trip scheduled to Jamaica, it was canceled. It was like right in the midst of the pandemic. Like it was booked before the pandemic, but everything got canceled because of.
Yeah. So I have a really great connection there. If you guys want to, I don't know who you're going with, like if you're going with friends or your significant other or whatever, but he's really cool. He works at the airport and he does like the shuttle services, but he will also do like tours and stuff for you guys. If you're going for a group, I can give you his information.
He does what again?
He does like the tours and stuff. Like, how you find, like if you go to a resort, they have the tours and stuff that you could do on a resort. But this is somebody that I know personally, and he's a good friend, and he does them too, but he'll take you like kind of like off the beaten path. You don't have to do like everything the touristy stuff. You can go.
But I mean, where? Like located?
In Montego Bay.
Oh, Montego.
Yeah, in Montego Bay. So that's what he's based out of. I'm not sure what part. Where are you going? Negril or Ocho Rios? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, he's in.
Yeah, we're going Ocho Rios.
Yeah, Ocho Rios is beautiful. You're gonna love it. Make sure you do the Dunn's River waterfalls. It's such
Dunn's River waterfall.
Yes, it's a waterfall. You actually walk up the waterfall. Yeah,
sounds interesting.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
I wanted to talk about the difference between Black and white people. Of course, it's stated here that Blacks have specific biochemical, nutritional, and dietary needs. So our diet is basically different than the Caucasians because we have a certain type of, our body is made up a certain type of way. like we need more fiber than I believe they do. You know, it has a breakdown of traditional African diet here.
So that's what I started initially when I was talking about how, you know, we come from a place where, you know, we're people of the sun for one, right? And we get most of our nutrients from things that are grown from the ground. And our our cellular makeup is that of someone who is born in a climate that eats fresh, right? So the climate that the Caucasian started out in was a more cruel, cold climate that things didn't grow. You know, you can't grow nothing in snow. So when they're in the Caucasus Mountains, it was snow, it was cold, it was icy. So they had to, like I said, hunt and kill their food. And most of the time, because those foods were animals, genetically, it starts to change your makeup on a cellular level. So you're absolutely, yeah, you absolutely on point with that, Tynesha, in the book when he starts talking about that. And it's a fact, you know, everybody tries to say, oh, we're all the same, we're all the same. We're really not. We're not. We're not the same. Our bodies require different things because of how we are. That's why if we were all the same, then why is it that the incidence of diabetes and hypertension is so much higher in us, and we have typically the same kinds of diets?
Exactly.
Because we've adopted their way of eating.
Yeah.
Don't eat the way our ancestors.
And like he stated with the milk, we all lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
You know, we can't take cow milk.
Because
you know,
milk is just something that our ancestors drank. Cow's milk is made for baby cows. It's not made for baby humans. If you want to drink milk, we should be drinking human milk. I mean, that sounds crazy, but that's the truth. And human milk, you no longer need after you're 2 years old. You don't need a mother's milk anymore. So that's why nuts make milk. And we found that, you know, when you can make milk from almonds, from cashews, from hemp seeds, from that is your milk replacement right there. If you just want something to go in your cereal, or you want something to go with your cookies, or you need something to go in that cake that you're making, you don't have to have milk that's from animals. So yeah, the only reason why I'm not saying that everybody should be vegan or vegetarian either. So don't get me wrong when I'm talking about that. I'm saying that we should have a more plant-based diet because that's mostly beneficial for our health, our wellness, our whole being, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because you know, when you eat certain meats and stuff like that, you get the damn itis. You're not productive at all. You ain't gonna eat no bowl of spinach or lettuce and get no fucking itis. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's not gonna
exactly. Right.
So we should be eating things that are more conducive to our health and well-being, and promote longevity. You know, who wants to live to be, you know, 85 years old, but you can't do anything because you all messed up because you've taken in all of these toxic chemicals throughout the years and this processed food and all this fried shit. You ain't got no legs, your feet been amputated. You know, it's just a myriad of things that happen over time when you can reduce that possibility just by what you put in your mouth. One of the things that was so profound that was said, I heard at a lecture a long time ago, was every disease that you have, you eat. I'm feeling it. That's deep. That's
Let me write that down. What you say it again for the people in the back.
Eat, right. You eat.
Every disease is what?
Every disease that you have, you eat. You've eaten it. That's what it comes from, because overabundance of those things, like even the cancer and stuff like that, unless we all have cancer cells in our bodies, right? You're born with them. And they're being fed by what you feed yourself to make them magnify and take over the other cells. So that's something very interesting to think about when you internalize that whole piece.
And it's funny you're on that subject right now, because I'm looking at the page where it says it's on, like you said, what is it, 25, 26, 26. It says diseases such as AIDS and cancer are no longer diseases, they are a business. So they're never going to find any type of alternative, no type of research, no type of solution, because it is a business. It's a money making business.
Yes.
All diseases is a money making business.
It is.
So there's no cure ever.
I think there is, but we won't know about it.
You
no.
Just say that
not
again.
Not in this lifetime. Anyway.
Right, say that again. Say
yeah, I think there's a cure, but we won't know about it.
Right. No, we won't.
Well, I mean, you know, Michael, what's the man name that had the AIDS? Michael, what's his name? Michael Johnson. He had it, and they thought he was gonna die. He's still living and with no problems. You know. They said it's because he had the money. I do believe that. Right. You got the money to pay for whatever, they're gonna give you the best type of care there is. Yeah. Shit that ain't even came out to the United States. They're gonna, you got the money, they're going to find any way to keep you healthy.
Yeah.
Alive.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I just thought that was, you know, informative. Like, damn, you know, a lot of people thinking, oh, they gonna find a research. Oh, you know, they in their lab. I don't know what they doing, but they ain't trying to find no damn solution.
And here's the thing that also that I can't remember who said this, but instead of calling it healthcare system, they need to call it the disease management system, because that's what it is. It's not the healthcare, because they're not trying to care for your health. They're just trying to manage your disease. You know, not get you well, just keep you sick enough so that you don't die and that you continue to come back.
Disease, what you say, disease management, what?
Management system. Yeah, that's a great way of looking at it, because it's not about curing you of anything.
That's so true, because y'all know, y'all don't know, but I have high blood pressure, right? And I've been dealing with it probably since 2014, whatever. And I absolutely hate taking medicines for anything, because I feel like it may fix one thing, but it's gonna break down something else, as if you're taking your car into a mechanic, right? So since last year, I've lost 20 pounds. I work out with a trainer. I've changed my eating habits. I do a lot better than I did, but my pressure is still high. And I'm asking the doctor, like, why? I'm doing everything that, you know, I say, do this. Maybe you're overweight, that's why, or you're this or you're that, but I've done this, I've done that, and it's still high. And the doctor says to me, he says, well, sometimes you can do everything right. And, you know, in my case, I'm still dealing with high blood pressure, and I just hate it. And I hate it. You know, it's like, what can you do?
Yeah. Well, I would say if you don't have the book, get the book and dig in deep and see if there's other alternatives that you can. You are on medication now, though, right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
So, and what really, it was discouraging because, well, at first, one doctor had me taking 2 medications, which I'm like, why? And so this doctor, I have a new doctor now, and I like him because he actually listens. And I told him, like, I hate taking medicine, so I wasn't taking it like I should, but try to take it enough just to keep it to keep it from being too bad. And so he took me off of one of the medications, and I'm only on one, which was a low dose. So I recently went back to have it checked, and it was still high. And that was just so discouraging to me, because I don't want to have to take two different pills to manage it. So instead of him prescribing me another one to take with this one, he just increased my dosage a little bit. And so after the dosage was increased and I went back, it's not 100% back to normal, but it's real close to it. So I was like, okay, so it's working. But yeah, if I didn't have to, I would prefer not to take medications at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a pill popper either. I hate it.
Yeah, well, you don't have to, sis. Just keep doing what you sound like you're on a great path. And the thing that we have to not beat ourselves up about, because we do this too. We want, because we live in a microwave society, we want a quick fix. We want to see results now. You made the changes, but think about how many years it took to get you to this, to that point where you had to take the medication. So if you work on it, and you say it's been a couple years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a couple years. I would say just, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
50.
Okay. So yeah. So I would say just keep working at it and give yourself give yourself a goal. Just say, by 52, I want to be off of it. And I think
Yeah.
because if you keep doing what you're doing, it sounds like you're managing it, you're getting it under control better, and then eventually he'll be able to wean you off, especially if you keep the exercise and the eating the right kinds of things, even incorporating, like get in the book and look and see if there's some herbs, and then ask, of course you got to talk to your doctor about it. Can I take this? Is this going to be contraindicative of my medicine? Because you're taking something, Western medicine, something prescribed. You want to let your doctor know if you go on any kind of herbal regimen, yourself. And I would say just give it a shot. You can't lose, and just give yourself a realistic timeline. I think 4 to 5 years working at it, and you say you've done it a couple years already, another couple years, you may be pill free by the time you turn 52, 53. But we can't expect it to happen overnight. You can't expect it to happen in 30 days. It's just not realistic. And here's another thing that happens that we don't really realize is that every 7 years, it's like you have a new body, right? So every 7 years, your cells replenish yourself, and you get all new cells and all new makeup. So you think if you use half of that time, you're using 4 to 5 of those years. By the time your next, those cells die off and the new cells start to generate in 7 years, yeah, you could definitely be totally medication free.
Let's go. And hopefully even before then.
Yeah, even before. I'm just saying, be realistic. Don't beat yourself up about it, because
I'm not. My goal.
If it took you 45 or 45, 46 years to even get to the point where you had to take medication for it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
true. That's true.
It takes time to undo it. It takes time to undo it.
Lysandra, I just want to add that I have high blood pressure as well. And on page 80 of the book, once you get the book on Amazon, and if you get it, you probably don't want to. I wouldn't say put this on audio, because this is like a health Bible.
Yeah, you need to be able to open it and look at it. Because
on page 80, it talks about high blood pressure, hypertension. It gives you solutions. And I myself need to look at it as well. You know what I mean? Like, I have it too. I work out a little bit, but then I don't work out. I eat right, I don't eat right. You know what I mean? It's like, but I did get down to one time.
That's 35.
Huh?
That's not it.
You say what, Lysandra?
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I thought you was on mute. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. But yeah, so, if you, like I say, Lysandra, if you have any type of information, they have stuff about kidneys on here, hypertension, every health issue, they have a solution for it. Now, it's up to you to try it and to be consistent with it. But that's why I wanted to give this book out to everybody, because Tawana is the one that told me about it many, 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 many years ago. And I was like, you know what? We all are of age where we're starting to have health problems and health issues, and we know somebody that do have them. So this is like a source to kind of, go back and give out information, or just, reach everyone, each one teach one, it's kind of like that. So, and even for your own stuff as well, because we all need it as well. So it's just so much, it's full of information in this book. So I really hope that you go out and purchase it, because it's definitely needed in everybody's home.
Yeah, and I like the fact that even with the not only the herbal supplements and stuff like that, but he also gives like your vitamins and what's important to have if you have high blood pressure and stress and stuff like that. You know, the vitamin C, the B complex, all of those. And then also what kind of foods that you should be eating more of. So it's really has a really, I don't know if you can really make that out, but it has a nice little chart in there, and all of, like Tynesha was saying, all of the things that the ailments that pretty much are known that are very popular are in here and are covered, and it gives you a lot of different healing modalities to also, we didn't really touch on the whole mind body spirit connection too. I think that as women, and as Black women in particular, we definitely have to nurture ourselves when it comes down to our mental stress and stuff like that, because stress can cause so many illness to exacerbate. You might have a little small issue, and then if you get bogged down with a whole lot of stress, emotionally and physically and financially, oh man, it can take you out. So I think that we have to begin to do things that are going to be more helpful to us all the way around. If it's taking some time, every month you should have one particular day. I mean, that's not too much to ask. One particular day that you don't do shit but what you want to do the whole entire 24 damn hours. If it's go and have you a massage, go meditate, whatever, hook up with your boo and lay up all day, whatever that may be. But we have to find different methods of being able to calm and soothe ourselves to alleviate a lot of the stress that we have. And that's so important to when you're on a path of healing. You can't heal in a stressful situation. Excuse me. It's very difficult to say that you're taking care of yourself, but you're worried, you're stressed out. You got all of this stuff happening, and it's no way. It's close to impossible. So, and I know the lives that we live and in the world that we're in is not it's not the easiest thing to do all the time, but I really plead with you all to, if you don't have um, mechanisms in place that allow you to kind of chill and get the most out of your mindfulness. I'm going to say that because for some people, it's prayer. For some people, it's meditation. For some people, hey, it's a good party. Whatever it is that helps you to relieve that stress. Working out. Margaret is gone, but she was talking about how she's a runner. Like running is everything for her, and that's wonderful when you can have those outlets that are outside yourself, but they're helping to do the work internally, helping you to do the work internally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if there's nothing else, I really don't have anything else. It was just, it's just really an overview.
Yeah, just right introduction to the book.
Yeah, how helpful and how beneficial it can be only to have in your library, to incorporate in your library as a reference tool.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds like it is. I might look into getting it.
Yeah, what the whole point of this is just so we as women would know a little bit more about our health and not be so blinded and just acting like it's not important. It's not a lot of books out here on specifically African American health, and this was one of the good ones that I found. So that's why I also want to share it with you guys.
Can I say something else too?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. But when y'all was talking about how different we are as African Americans toward versus the Caucasians or whatever, because that's always been an issue of mine, or I thought, like, why? We're all human, like they eat the same things we eat too. Ours may be better seasoned or whatever, but they talk about whatever. So I remember asking a doctor before, especially because they're always saying, oh, blood pressure is higher amongst Blacks, or this is worse amongst Blacks. And I'm like, why? We're all humans or whatever. And you hear different reasons as to why. And then I asked the doctor before. She wasn't my primary doctor, but she was a Black lady. And she was just like, she basically said, oh, it's all a lie, whatever. We're all the same. It's, you know, whatever, whatever. And then I was talking to one of my friends about it. She's probably like 15 years older than I am. And she kind of broke it down to me in a way like what you guys just, you know, did a little bit earlier. And that helped me to understand things a little bit better. But I still think like it's just crazy how we're affected by certain things more often than they are.
Yeah, and if we get back to like I would say if we could start a revolution of people that decided to eat more, or I would say live, and I'm not going to just say eat, I'm saying live, the practices, the daily practices, you know, we all talk about how important it is to get out, you know, and get 30 minutes of exercise and all that, and what that looks like. And exercise does not have to necessarily be exercise like running and, you know, or going to the gym and stuff like that. The fact that, see my neighbor next door, the work that she doing over there in that yard, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the work that she doing over there in that yard, and she's been out there kicking it down for at least an hour and a half or so now. She can cut the gym out, okay? Because we, our bodies require movement, right? And it's like that saying, a body in motion stays in motion, and a body at rest stays at rest. So if we can just begin to incorporate those things, like the eating with eating to live and not living to eat. Okay, incorporate more whole foods and fresh water and tea and stuff like that. Staying away from negative situations and energies and people. And I just wonder how our health would change, and because what we put in is what we put out, right? And staying as positive as we can, and striving to be the best that we can in all that we do. We have a nation that's unstoppable, because right now what bothers me is what's highlighted is always the negative things and the negative situations that our people find themselves in. You rarely ever hear about the positive things that are going on, especially with the young people. You know, there's some young people out here that's doing some really dynamic stuff, that's very creative, that are inventing things that's going to help improve lives for everybody all over the planet in the years to come. So just imagine that if they had the right input, the right foundation on all aspects, and nobody can be perfect, right? But if we can do 80 to 85% of what we know to be the best thing for us as a people, and stop thinking about what everybody else is saying and what everybody else is doing and how everybody else is living, I think that we will turn things around. I think we can. And it's in one generation, it can happen.
And I do believe that if we keep ourselves in good energy and spaces amongst good people, that is really helpful, because I had to learn to do that and just not deal with people when they were disturbing my peace, because it just had me all anxious and upset and mad and angry, and I didn't want to be that person. So I got to a place years ago, probably 5-6 years ago, where I'm who you are. My mama, my sister, my brother, even my own kids, I had to get to a place where I'm just like, enough is enough, because I want to live for a long time and I want to be as healthy as possible in my life. And you know, you have people stressing you out, and I was just like, I'm not doing this no more. So if you disturbing my peace, I'll cut you off for a time, because I just didn't want to live like that anymore, even allowing people to do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. That is good for you. That is so powerful. And that says a lot about you being in touch with and knowing who you are and what you need. So good for you. That is a beautiful place to be in.
And some people can't get away from it like that, can't just cut people off. They live with negative people. So what do you do in that sense? You know what I mean? You just can't up and one away. So it's easy for.
I don't think Lysandra's meaning cut them off.
No.
She knows how to draw the line. She knows what, because you don't have to necessarily cut people off because you love them and you want them in your life and stuff like that. You just know, as my mom would say, you know how to feed them with a long handled spoon.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, what about those people that actually live in the same, home, or who has to be around the negative energy all day 24/7 and don't have an outlet like we do. We all pretty much live alone. We've moved away. We're grown, we're on our own. Everybody is not, it doesn't come so easy for some people. So I feel sorry for those, because
I would say everybody should have a place that they can call their little sanctuary in within their space. And if all you got is a bedroom, create that space to be your safe haven. To when you go there, it's all about your Zen life.
Yeah. Well, that's a good solution, because it don't have to be where you have to move away. Just create whatever space, some type of space for your solitude.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
For sure.
But so the whole thing was, I just want to kind of talk about this, like, annually, just so we can kind of revisit, talk about health, how we've improved our health, or just get a little more deeper into the book, because this was just the tip of the iceberg here,
Yeah, and I'm so sorry, girls, that I was exposed to COVID, and I just didn't want to, like, today is the end of it for me, but I just still, because I don't know everybody's situation. Like, I didn't have any symptoms. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I'm coughing in the whole week that I've been home, but I know it's because, they're cutting and all that, all this pollen and stuff is out here. You see my eyes is watering, all of that. They cut down in bushes and all of that stuff. But I had a whole day planned. It was going to be, wear comfortable clothes. We was going to get into a little bit of yoga, beginning yoga, meditation. I was going to make everybody green smoothies. We had a whole thing planned.
Yeah.
That's why. So it was more so about just the whole package, the whole feeling of what it would to offer wellness, and to see and to help to create some healthier alternative routines for you, and to on your individual paths of wellness and healing, if that's what is needed at the time. So thank you, Tynesha, for that suggestion. And we'll still have to revisit. Maybe we can just do it once, it doesn't necessarily have to be for a book club, because, this summer I plan on getting back to, my neighbor's having something. And so we're going to have some, yoga in his yard. He has a huge yard. 50, 60 people can be over in his yard doing yoga with no problem. So whenever we host that, maybe I'll just go ahead and put it, in our chat. Come and we can, and we can still come down and we can sit on the porch afterwards and have our green smoothies.
Yes.
It'll be
sounds good.
A Sunday or a Saturday for sure. We do that. So I will definitely let you guys know, because I really am sorry that it didn't turn out to be what we had initially intended and talked about. But I'm glad we did, for the few, that stayed on and was able to have the conversations. Everybody is where they are in their own place at their own time. So I appreciate you all coming.
Yes, and next month we're gonna do June book club. We're gonna actually read a book. This was just for May. That's why I didn't do it. And I'm thinking maybe every month, and every year in May, we just focus on health, and just come back to this book, because it's so big. It's so much in here that we can just stay on this for a while. So that, you know, and like I say, health is so important right now. It's very essential. So, Lysandra, I know you can't pick a book because you picked the one we read from Alexandria House, Let Me Love You. So you can just put your number in just text me your number. Don't put it in the chat. Text me your number, and then Kiki, I know you're new, so you don't really know how it goes, but I'll send you the list of books. You just look through the list, pick a book, and send me it doesn't matter. Just send me a number 1 through 100 and the name of your book. Kiki, you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Tawana too, you can I'll send you a list of books. Let me know what you want to read. Just send me your number 1 through 100. I've already sent it to Diane and Margaret as well. So everybody can definitely be in the pool to pick a book for the month of June. But yeah, Lysandra, please go get this book on Amazon and have it in your house, because you may can go back and I don't want to say tell your doctor some information, but you know, because they don't like when you tell them about their own job. So I'm just saying, still listen to your doctor. Do not just focus on this book. Still listen to your doctor, but still, you know, go home and just do your own research.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you, lady.
So other than that, that'll be it. Anybody else have anything to share before we leave?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So then we'll see you. June should probably be at New Beginnings at Tawana's Salon. We're going to have a paint and sip party. Diane will be hosting it. If it changes, I will definitely let you guys know, but that's what the plan is for right now. We'll, you know, have food, kind of almost like what we was gonna have this month, but it's kind of like gonna roll over to the next month.
Yeah.
So kind of still gonna be the same experience, but a little bit different. So
yeah.
So yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I look forward to seeing you all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, and happy Memorial Day too.
Yeah.
How about this, y'all? Little known fact: Memorial Day was created by African Americans. Booyah!
Not surprising.
No,
Where would they be without us?
right. It was created in honor, because you know we never forget the people that you know impacted our lives, and so they wanted to give honor to those fallen soldiers who were not recognized, that were African American, and that's how we got Memorial Day, because we started celebrating in honor of those soldiers.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay, ladies, love you guys. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day.
You guys, thank you guys for coming. Have a good day and enjoy your holiday.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.